Hello and good evening. Welcome to this evening's news bulletin on Goa 365 with me, Amanda Alfonso. Babush Monserrat's educational qualification issue took an interesting turn, with the Panjim police requesting the complainant to obtain directions to the police from an appropriate court in order to investigate into the matter. This was conveyed in writing by the Panjim PI Francisco Corth to UT Goenka spokesperson Advocate Iris Rodrigues. The letter addressed to Advocate Rodrigues read, and I quote, "Since the case is of a non-cognizable offence nature, you are hereby advised to approach the appropriate court of law if you require to do so." Unquote. It may be recalled that on 11 September, Advocate Iris Rodrigues had lodged a case against the Education Minister, Mr. Babush Monserrat. The UT Goenka spokesperson, Iris Rodrigues, accused the police for buckling under political pressure and for shying away from their responsibilities.
Now, we had made a complaint to the Panjim police. The Panjim police registered the complaint as a non-cognizable offence and asked us to seek orders from the court. This was the job of the police, to seek the permission of the magistrate to investigate into these serious offences. But due to the political clout that Babush Monserrat enjoys, the police refused to approach the magistrate and cast the burden on us.
Advocate Rodrigues alleged that the Chief Minister, Digambar Kamath, has been pressurizing the police not to initiate action against the Education Minister and advised the Chief Minister to desist from doing so.
We once again request the Chief Minister and call upon the Chief Minister not to interfere and give wrong directions and bring pressure on the police and the other government officers. Let them work in accordance with law.
Advocate Rodrigues today filed a criminal complaint before the Judicial Magistrate First Class Panjim, seeking direction from the court to investigate into this case, as has been advised by the Panjim police. The JMFC will hear the complaint on Monday, the 22nd of September.
So we have filed this complaint before the magistrate. We are confident that the court will give directions to the police. The court will hear our petition on Monday, and we are sure directions will be given to the police to investigate into the complaint and file a charge sheet against Babush Monserrat so that he gets punished in accordance with law.
The Benauli village panchayat has been in the news for the last couple of weeks, following repeated agitations by the villagers against mega projects. Heated and acrimonious arguments have been the order of the day, so much so that even a regular panchayat meeting takes place in the presence of a posse of policemen. The panchayat meeting held yesterday saw a strong posse of policemen from Maina Kurturi and Kunkoli police stations, besides the presence of a van load of India Reserve Battalion that was stationed near the panchayat as a precautionary measure. It may be recalled that last Monday the panchayat meeting was adjourned on account of the disruption caused by the villagers agitating against the mega housing projects. Speaking to Goa 365, Sarpanch Carmelina Fernandez highlighted the issues which were discussed at the meeting.
Meeting हे आम लोकांगे NOC and transfer of house tax allocated केले आणि कोणाय completion allocated दिले and clear केले. Meeting is adjourned because there is another 10-12 pages.
However, yesterday's meeting did not receive much participation from the villagers and went on peacefully. With the steep increase in the fuel prices in the recent past, the state government is in the process of revising public transport fares. A 10 to 15% hike in transport fares is on the cards and is likely to take effect from the 1st of October. This proposal has been in the pipeline for quite some time now, owing to the demand put forward by the public transport operators, and has been necessitated to ensure viability and the very survival of the public transport businesses. Speaking to Goa 365, the Transport Minister, Mr. Sudhin Dhawlikar, said that the government had taken into consideration the interest of all the stakeholders before arriving at a decision.
See, there are a number of things now to be considered as far as Bus Owners Association, Rickshaw Owners Association, Tourist Taxis Association and also Motorcycle Pilot Association requested government to increase the fare. However, government has taken keen interest by keeping all the things in mind and also decided not to give much increase in fares, and because of high inflation, which is now around 12% and above, we have also decided to give some relief to these all people, including Kadamba, by increasing the fares. These fares will be increased around 10 to 15%, which will not affect to the common man.
Mr. Tawlekar spoke about the further steps to ease the monetary burden on government staff as well as the general public.
We are also thinking, if government staff is affecting, to give them passes through Kadamba and all. And also, if you want, they want to come through Kadamba transport daily service from say Panjim to Margaon to say Kanpon. If any common man wants to take say 25 days service, that's also we'll think over here.
We're giving them passes.
Giving discounted passes.
Private transport operators, however, seem to be dissatisfied over the quantum of the proposed hike by the government.
गव्हर्नमेंटान सध्या वाडयल्ली रेट आहा पळय ती खूब कमी आहा ती पण ती मागलेली ती रेट आनी वाडयल्ली रेट खूब फरक आहा तितून पयलीं 4 किलोमिटर 6 रुपया मागीर 60 पैसे किलोमिटर मागलेले ते 5 पैसे दिले तेंच्यांनी
सध्या आमी पेट्रोल वाडला सगळें वाडला पूण लुकसाणूच आहा आमी पूण आतां कितें गव्हर्नमेंट करता ते आमी हें करूं शकता कितें गव्हर्नमेंटान रेट वाडयलो जाल्यार आमी वेल एंड गूड आमकां वाडयना जाल्यार मागीर आमी कितें आहा तो रेटीत घेवपाचो आमचो
पण आतां हे रेटाकूय म्हणून आमकां तें परवडना कित्याक रेट सगळे हें जाता की रेटूच मेळना आमकां रेट सगळो डावन डावन जाता ते सगळ्या कडेन म्हणटा ते आमची गाडी आहा म्हणटात तूं वता जाल्यार व्हर नाल्यार आमची गाडी आपयता अशें जाता.
We now have for you Goa This Week. Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of Goa This Week with me, Cheryl D'Souza. The week began with the State Congress Party coming out strongly against the senseless violence perpetuated by terrorists in the national capital that left 30 innocent citizens dead and over 90 injured. Mr. Francisco Sardin, Member of Parliament and President of the Goa Pradesh Congress Committee, went on further to accuse the Bharatiya Janata Party of spreading terror among the minorities in the country and expressed apprehensions regarding the safety of the Christian community in the BJP-ruled states. Also condemning the acts of vandalism was the President of the Nationalist Congress Party, Dr. Wilfred D'Souza, as he demanded that President's rule be imposed in the two states of Orissa and Karnataka that were engulfed with communal violence. Dr. D'Souza also condemned the vandalism on temples reported in the recent past in parts of the state. Meanwhile, the state unit of the Bharatiya Janata Party also voiced their anguish about the happenings in Karnataka as the leader of the opposition, Manohar Parrikar, termed the incident as an attempt to create religious disharmony across the country and asked that the state government take precautions to avoid such incidents from occurring in Goa. Returning home in the wee hours of Monday morning were the 47 Goan lifeguards who were sent to assist the rescue operations in the flood-ravaged state of Bihar at the behest of the National Disaster Authority. The lifeguards, who were in Bihar for 7 days, were received by the Director of Tourism, Elvis Gomes, and other officials at the Vasco Residency. Mr. Gomes applauded the efforts of these lifeguards who, he said, were able to reach areas inaccessible to others. Whilst the state's lifeguards got a well-deserved pat on their backs, Goa's ability as a good host got endorsed once again when the Chief Minister Digambar Kamath signed the host city contract for the 36th National Games proposed to be held in the state in the year 2011. We hope the authorities work in right earnest from now on itself so that the state is well prepared to host these games. In our efforts to get an insight into what really the hosting of the National Games meant, we tried to get in touch with the PR-savvy Director of Sports and Youth Affairs, Ms. Susanna D'Souza, on more than one occasion. However, each time our efforts were futile as she apparently has been very busy with official engagements. We do hope she has time to understand the magnanimity of the task bestowed upon the state, or else the National Games too might end up in a sporting fiasco.